If your pivot table percent of total looks wrong, you're usually not looking at a math problem. You're looking at a context problem. In Excel, percentages in pivot tables are calculated relative to a specific total, and that total changes depending on field placement, filters, and even hidden items. So the same numbers can produce different percentages, and both can be technically correct, just not what you meant. In this video, you'll learn a reliable way to diagnose what your pivot table is using as the denominator. We'll cover the most common causes, report filters, subtotals, blank items, and the difference between row totals, column totals, and grand totals. Then we'll fix it using the right show values as option. And when that's not enough, we'll use a calculated field or a measure. By the end, you'll know how to make your percent of total stable, explainable, and consistent across views, even when you slice the data. Next step. First, let's lock down what percent of total should mean for your report.
People often say percent of total, but they might mean one of three different things. 1. Percent of the grand total for the entire pivot table. 2. Percent of the row total, so each row adds to 100%. 3. Percent of the column total, so each column adds to 100%. Excel supports all three, but it won't guess your intent. It will calculate based on the option you chose and the current layout. So before changing anything, decide your target behavior. Ask one simple question. When I add up the percentages, where should it equal 100%? The whole table, each row, or each column? Once you're clear on that, troubleshooting becomes straightforward, because you can test whether Excel is using the expected total as the denominator.
Next step. Now let's do a quick diagnostic that works in almost every pivot table. Add the same value field twice. Keep the first one as a normal sum, like sum of sales. Set the second one to your percentage, like percentage of grand total. Why does this help? Because you can sanity check the percent by doing a rough calculation in your head. If one category has 200 out of a total 1,000, you expect about 20%. If Excel shows 33%, that's not random. It means Excel's total is not 1,000 in that context. This also reveals whether the issue is caused by filters, by the row or column structure, or by subtotals. The raw sum tells you what's included. The percent tells you what Excel thinks the relevant total is. Keep both fields while you debug. Remove the extra one only after the percentages behave the way you intended. Next step. A very common cause is the difference between a report filter and a slicer-like filter inside the pivot layout. If you put a field in the filters area, you are filtering the entire pivot table. That usually changes the grand total. So percentage of grand total becomes percentage of filtered grand total. That may be correct, but it surprises people who want percent of the overall dataset, regardless of the filter selection. For example, you might filter to one region, but still want each product's share of the company-wide total. If that's your goal, you need a denominator that ignores that filter. In a normal pivot table, show values as can't always ignore report filters. That's when you either restructure the pivot or you move to a data model measure that can remove filter context. So step 1 is simply identifying which filters you want your percent to respect and which ones you want it to ignore. Next step, next culprit, subtotals and grouped fields. When you have multiple row fields, Excel can calculate percentages at different levels. For example, you might have category and then product underneath. If you choose percent of parent row total, each product becomes a share of its category, not a share of the overall total. That's not wrong. It's just answering a different question. The giveaway is that percentages add to 100% within each parent group. Also watch for manual grouping, like grouping dates into months or quarters. Grouping changes what Excel considers a parent, and if subtotals are turned on, Excel may display totals that make the table look like it's using one denominator, while the percent is using another. If your intent is global share, use percent of grand total. If your intent is within group share, use percent of parent. The fix is matching the calculation to the level you care about. Next step. Let's get precise about the show values as options, because small wording differences matter. Percent of grand total uses the pivot table's grand total after filters. Percent of column total resets the denominator per column. Percent of row total resets it per row. Then there are the parent options. Percent of parent row total and percent of parent column total are for hierarchies, like category to product or year to month. These are great for mix analysis, but they often look wrong if you expected a single global denominator. A practical tip: if your percentages are correct in one layout, but wrong when you move fields between rows and columns, that's a sign you picked a row-based or column-based percent, not a grand total percent. So when things look off, revisit the exact option name. Don't rely on memory. The label tells you the denominator. Next step. Another sneaky issue is blanks, hidden items, and missing categories. Pivot tables can include items with no data depending on field settings, and sometimes the source data has blanks that get treated as a real category. That can change totals and make percentages look off. Also, if you filter a field by selecting items, Excel may still keep some items in the pivot cache. In certain setups, especially with older pivot behavior, that can affect what appears as the total, or it can create confusing results when you refresh. A clean approach is remove blank items at the source when possible, or explicitly filter them out. Then check field settings like Show Items with No Data. If you don't need it, turn it off. Finally, refresh the pivot table after changes. Percent of total relies on the totals being accurate, and stale cache data can keep the wrong denominator hanging around. Next step. Sometimes the percent is wrong because the value itself is wrong. The most common reason is the wrong aggregation. If your field should be summed but Excel is counting it, your percentages will be nonsense. Or you might be summing an already calculated percentage from the source, which almost never makes sense. Do a quick check in Value Field Settings. Confirm the summarize function is correct. Sum for amounts, count for records, average only when it's truly an average. Also check number formatting. A value formatted as a percent might actually be stored as 0.2, and if you sum those, you're adding ratios, not totals. That can make the percent of total look off, when the real issue is the base measure. Rule of thumb: percent of total should be applied to a raw additive measure like sales, units, or hours. If you start from a ratio, you usually need a weighted calculation instead. Next step. If you need a percent that ignores certain filters or stays consistent across different pivot layouts, the data model is the cleanest solution. Instead of show values as, you create a measure that defines the numerator and denominator explicitly. Conceptually, you build two measures, total sales and all sales total. Then your percent measure is total sales divided by all sales total. The key is that the denominator can remove filters you don't want, like region, while still respecting filters you do want, like date. This is the difference between a pivot table calculation and a model calculation. Pivot table calculations are tied to the current layout. Measures are tied to business logic. You don't need to memorize DAX to benefit from this idea. Just remember the goal: make the denominator explicit and stable. When the denominator is stable, the percent stops changing its mind when you rearrange fields. Next step. Let's talk about a practical workflow you can repeat every time. Step 1. State the intended denominator in plain English. Share of all sales, or share within each category, or share within each month. Step 2. Add the value twice, sum and percent, so you can validate the math. Step 3. Inspect filters and field placement. Anything in filters, rows, or columns can change the context. Step 4. Choose the matching Show Values As option. If it's a hierarchy question, use a parent option. If it's global share, use grand total. Step 5. Clean up blanks and confirm the aggregation. And if you still can't get the behavior you want, that's your signal to move from pivot table math to an explicit measure in the data model. This workflow keeps you from randomly clicking settings. You're diagnosing the denominator, then selecting tool that matches your intent. Next step. Before we wrap up, here are a few quick edge cases that trip people up. If you have multiple value fields, each one can have its own Show Values As setting. So one measure might be percent of total, while another is still a normal sum. If you use calculated fields, remember they operate on the underlying records, not on the pivot totals. That can produce results that don't match what you expect from subtotal math. Also, be careful with percent of grand total when you have multiple pivot tables connected to the same cache and you change settings in one. Some changes can affect others in subtle ways. The big idea is consistent. Percentages are not just numbers. They're a relationship between a value and a defined total. When you control the definition of that total, the pivot table output becomes predictable. If you want, I can also share a simple checklist you can apply in under a minute. Next step. Let's bring it home. When a pivot table percent of total looks wrong, don't fight the numbers. Identify the denominator Excel is using, then decide if that denominator matches your business question. Most fixes are simple. Choose the correct Show Values As option, and confirm your filters, subtotals, and aggregation. If your report needs a percent that ignores specific filters or stays consistent no matter how you rearrange the pivot, move the logic into a data model measure so the denominator is explicit. Use the two-field sanity check, sum plus percent, and you'll catch the issue fast. Clean up blanks and items with no data, so totals are truly what you think they are. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more Excel problem-solving walkthroughs. And for a quick check-in, comment with your situation. Do you need percent of the grand total or percent within each group? I'm always testing new ways to work smarter. Subscribe to see what workflow I'm breaking down next.